morning, everybody. Welcome to Dice Tower News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tom.
I'm Z.
And I'm Camilla.
And we are, before we talk about the news, I want to remind everybody that the Jack Mouse Memorial Fund auction has only a few days left. This is a way to help people in their time of need. And so if someone's house burns down, a gamer's house burns down, or, major medical thing, they can ask the Jack Mouse Memorial Fund for money, and we give it to them if we have it. How do we get it? Through this auction. And there's all kinds of things. I think there's hundreds of items.
Yes.
Some really amazing stuff on there you can bid on, and the money goes to the fund, or you can put up your own things still.
Right.
So check that out.
How do they check it out, Tom?
Yeah, huh?
How do they check it out?
We'll put a link in the description of this video.
We go.
And for those of you watching live chat, it will show up in there very shortly. Other things are happening. We have top 10 lists coming later today, and we are still moving. You might not see it in the scenes, but Dice Tower is slowly moving to Fort Myers.
Like that.
We are, what percentage?
It's getting there.
Are we like 1%?
We are we're about 50% of the thinking about it phase.
Yeah, that's good. But,
I like that.
but we're like, we got some stuff moved over. I think we moved over 2 van loads, only 80 to go, but it's happening. Yeah. It's happening.
We'll get there. Right. We'll get there.
All right, let's get to the news. March 27th, 2025. First of all, I know you're all waiting. The Toy of the Year Awards. The winner is Uno, Show 'em No Mercy.
Brutal.
Which is funny because the other night I decided to quick swing through Barnes & Noble to see what board games they have.
Yeah.
They have a decent selection in their record area now.
Wait, which Barnes & Noble did you go by?
The one up in Kendall. So I was like,
what record area? The upstairs went away, right?
It didn't. I was like, I found little kids' games. I'm like, where are the games? I thought maybe they're upstairs. I went upstairs and it said music, and I was like, that's probably wrong. I walked in there, record players, records everywhere, and board games.
Okay, it's good to know that they're up there.
Yeah, they looking at like
anyway,
eclectic
I saw a guy
items.
pick up this game and look at it, and I wanted to go and say, no,
you
but I
should have
didn't.
slapped it out of his hand.
Look at this, a plus 10. What?
Yeah, this is like Uno turned up to 11, right?
Yeah.
Like it's really nasty stuff.
I bet my
meaner
kids would
than the
love
normal game.
My kids would love it, I bet. All right, anyway.
Sure, it'll
so
sell like
won
hotcakes.
Toy of the Year from the Toy Foundation.
All right.
I don't even know how these Toy of the Year awards work. Like, are they giving it to the best game? Or are they giving it?
No, they were voted on by the public.
Well, I remember we looked at it
right, never mind then.
about like 6 months ago. We looked at all the nominees, right? And this is definitely, I remember looking at this and being like, nah. It was like the weakest of them, I thought.
It's amazing what a recognizable brand will do for you. You know what I mean?
Sure, and I don't blame that, right? People like Uno, so be it. But all right, let's move on. All right, let's talk about some actual winners here. It is the As d'Or. This is the France's Game of the Year award. Now,
the Ace of Gold.
No Game of the Year award is as big as the Spiel des Jahres from Germany. But these other ones are important to take a look at. I was a little surprised at the second one here. Odin is cool. The winner.
Yeah.
It beat Captain Flip and For the Crown.
Which is
I
interesting.
was surprised at Kutnahora because Kutnahora is a 23 game. It must have had a delayed
Maybe that's when it came out in
release
French.
in French, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that won the Expert. It beat Daybreak and Sankore. And then
That's interesting. That's pretty heavy.
Behind won the Initiate category, which is like beginners. It beat Harmonies and Chronologic Paris 1920. And I like both of those. I really want to know what this game is. I've not played it.
I've not
Isn't
seen
Chronologic
it
1920 not much of a starter's game? Not beginner's game? I thought it was complex.
No, it's not. I mean, it's like it's very logic oriented, but it's not hard to play.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know this one, this Behind game. I only heard about this. I heard about Odin. I hadn't heard about the other ones.
Okay. I hadn't heard about Behind or the Operation.
Yeah, it's from
Noisettes.
KYF edition, and maybe it's only in French too right now.
Could be.
It's interesting. And then the kids' game is Operation Noisettes.
Operation Noisette.
So those, congrats to the winners. All right, let's see here. Palamori started a new publishing house. This is definitely a trend of this decade where designers are starting their own publishing houses.
That's right.
And so let's see. He's working on this. His publishing house is called Ingenioso Hidalgo.
I love that he's flat out says he's like, "Yep, the games I'm going to produce are not going to be for everybody." Like, period. Like, he just flat out just came out. He's like, "They're going to be historic, non-fiction based games. They're not going to be having wide appeal." Like, I love that he owns
he's passionate about this stuff, and he wants to do it as an indie kind of side project.
I think that's great.
I'm kind of surprised though that he couldn't. Maybe he didn't want to find like one of the war game publishers to do this. Like Academy Games might have done this with him. Who knows?
They're very small, I think, and maybe that's the difference.
Yeah, so this is going to come out in 2025 this year at the Play Game Festival in Bologna. Is that how you say it? Bologna? Italy? Oh. No, I was not saying that.
I haven't seen it.
It's Bologna. I don't know how
Bologna
to pronounce it.
is right.
Is it Bologna?
Yeah, bologna.
I thought bologna had an E on the end.
No, that's how you spell
no,
bologna.
No, you can spell it both ways in English. I don't know if that's the name of the city, though.
Bologna.
All right.
We're showing our
Believe
culture
in
here.
me.
Like,
I was trying to be more.
Education.
I was trying. Okay, anyway. All right, we got Believe in Me. Please. I like that extra please in there. This is a game from Eric Hafner, Haneke Hoist, and Cornell Krisnaz. This is coming out at the Essen, or the Spiel Fair in Essen 2025. This is a strategy game which 2 to 4 players embody mischievous self-proclaimed gods, vying for the faith of gullible mortals, which I think is a hilarious theme.
It's a really quirky sounding, yeah.
Especially since it looks like they went out of their way to not copy any existing gods. I mean, the first one's clearly Egyptian.
Ish, right.
Ish. And the middle one is maybe Norse. I don't know. And the last one, Mesozoic. But I'm okay with that, right? You're just hey, I'm a god. Believe in me.
Yeah. I think it's a cute satirical theme, and they're leaning into it here with the artwork and stuff. I don't know about the actual gameplay of it, as it does seem very, not take that, but, just more of those mass market mechanisms, like, bluffing and stealing and cheating and this and that. And
it's weird because the way it read to me, it sounded like, mechanisms. And then you do silly things or act out, and I couldn't quite put my finger on, are they describing theme right now, or are they describing mechanisms?
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, it says Bologna.
I
thought so in your face.
Okay.
I like to say baloney.
I also just love all the...
I do like the people say, how do you spell Oscar?
Has a first name.
I'm an Oscar. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, it has a first name. That's all I like. It has a first name. So silly. I love it.
Kingdom Crossing is from Sorry We Are French. This is a new game from Marco Canetta and Stefania Nicolini. This is also coming out at Spiel Essen. And in a faraway land, in the midst of a verdant forest crossed by the Crystal River, lies a small kingdom of Bright Spring, and I already apologize. The wise Queen Beavery, who's facing a problem.
What's the problem?
Her 4 regions are separated by 7 bridges, conveniently, and to divide her time evenly between the subjects of these regions, the kingdom would need an 8th bridge. So you're trying to figure out where to build this 8th bridge.
It's an old, story, right? I mean, it's... I think it was interesting to go with this artwork, this cutesy little anthropomorphic look, when it's not a fairy tale, but it's like one of those, not a Grimm's fairy tale,
this is based on a math problem, an old math problem.
Yeah. It was
of the 7 bridges.
Yes.
And it's an old, thing where they're trying to figure out how can somebody cross all 7 bridges without doubling back on the same bridge once.
Right, that's what it was. Yeah, math problem. I couldn't think of it. I had myth in my head, and I was like, it's not that. It's the
The game looks more complex the farther you get away from the board.
Yeah.
I looked at the board. I was like, I looked next to it. I'm like, whoa. Then I looked at the player board. So I was like,
right.
I know.
A lot of tracks.
That cover for some reason gives me a Queen Games vibe.
Oh, interesting. It definitely looks like a kid's game from the cover. And
that cover does not match that game look.
And then you go to the board and you're like, oh, okay, maybe a little more advanced kids, like you said. And then you go to the player board, you're like, whoa, wait, what?
Yeah. It looks cute. I would try that out.
All right. 7 brides for 7
Coexist. No, this isn't the bumper sticker you see all the time. This is a 2 to 4 player game here that's coming to crowdfunding from Matago. And animals are going to be extinct. No.
Okay, moving on.
What? No, what? No, I am stoked
No, you
about
are gonna.
this.
You are mobilizing your team of animal caretakers. Release the animals back in the wild. Basically, you're trying to stop extinction. I think coexist means we're coexisting with animals. I wonder if I would have liked to. That doesn't make me think save
right.
extinct animals, but that cover's cool. Is
I
that the cover?
really like the art in this.
I think
yeah,
the tiger's part of the cover, not this image.
Okay, that
Maybe
was
I'm
the
wrong.
game, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if that is the cover, that's interesting that the cover is the game, which is very rare.
No, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think so. I thought I saw the tiger image being kind of front and center when I
Okay.
saw it, but I don't know.
Yeah. But he's a street artist.
Right.
And now, been hired to do this board game, and I love.
Oh, yeah,
I
it looks
love
great.
the art style in this. It is, and it was kind of giving me endangered vibes, but it's competitive, not cooperative. And
I'll rescue that tiger. Get out of my way.
I'm stoked about this one.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
All right, then we have Parks and Potions. This is from Chris Eastridge, designer. Moon Saga Workshop, and some expansions. This is coming out this June. A 1 to 5 player game, and you will be park rangers. Being a park ranger, park enthusiast is a hot theme right now. There's several games coming out. I think those covers are fantastic.
Yeah.
They both look like they're in the same series, but also by themselves look great.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the games match.
It's weird because to me, all three of those covers, I know that I think it's not fantasy themed, but they all look fantastical. They all look like fantasy themes. The trees coming in, the coloration, and then that font.
Which they kind of are. I mean, you are a potion. It's like the magical potions that you're making by getting the ingredients. So
Is
it
it
kind of has
magic?
that.
Or
I
is
don't
it
think
just
it's
like
magic.
you're
I think
just
it's more
taking
like,
care of animals and you are foraging for medicinal herbs that you
I
know
think
are
that's-
medicinal,
yeah, it's more like
right?
alchemaic, than it is.
Alchemides?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe Parks and Potions. I mean, again, I think I'm okay with this idea of parks. That's fun. The potion thing, starting to get a little. I mean, I know it's an easy game mechanism. Mix these things, make potion.
Yeah.
I think it's okay when for me, it's something like this, like it's mixing two themes. It's nature and potions, kind of bringing them together. I think if it's potions on its own, that's a little overdone at this point. But,
Ooh,
mixing
Tom.
them together, I'm excited.
We should do a top 10 themes people need to shut up about
Marvel.
already. You know what I mean? Like, Marvel could be
Done.
on there, but it won't be on
It's
my
funny
list.
if we had done
Definitely
that-
like dueling wizards. Enough with the dueling wizards.
Is there still more of those? I haven't seen one of those
It
in a
used to
while.
be that I would have said zombies was number one. I
Yeah.
don't think it might not make the top 10 anymore.
But potions is on that list for me, I think.
Interesting.
That thing of like, it seems like it doesn't matter what the
Yeah.
theme is. Mix these things, brew them together. I'm like, I don't care. I find that so boring as a theme.
That's interesting. I think it's
But what
not
about-
overdone to me. I like it.
What about candy? Sweet Takes.
Sweet takes.
And Gummy Trick. Actually, Sweet Takes is Gummy Trick. It's a licensed one. This is a 2 to 5 trick-taking game, which almost makes me a little sad because I'm like, what a great cover. Oh, trick-taking. Not that I'm opposed to trick-taking games. It's just that themes sometimes feel wasted on a trick-taking game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, almost always the theme
Oh,
feels
yeah,
wasted, yeah.
Very much.
But this is from Hayashi. And an Okazu brand. That's the original company. Who is doing the reprint there? Is that? It says Hasbro.
Hasbro.
Man. Hasborg, bro.
Well, I would ask
What does Mike think of this game? I need to know. Mike? Calling Mike
in the
DeLucio.
chat,
I don't
tell us
think- is
what-
he
if
in?
Gummy
Oh, he is in
Trick
there.
is a good game because I've not played it.
If he
Wendy, have you
wasn't-
played it? No? Okay.
If he wasn't in the chat, I think us mentioning this
Said, have you
game
played it?
summons him.
No?
Gummy
All right.
Trick. So in this game, you are going to be playing cards. You have to follow suit. If you cannot follow suit, then obviously you lay off, and anybody after you can follow the original suit or any other suit that's been played. Once we're done with a hand, then whoever played the highest card in each suit will capture part of the trick, the part of the trick that they're winning.
in the suit,
And then
okay.
they keep the winning card face up, the other ones go face down in front of them, and they'll score points, 1 point for every face down card, points for the face up cards based on how good they are. If you win with a lower card, which is harder to do, that's worth more points. There, you now know how to play the game.
Cool. Mike
okay.
said it's a very nice entry-level card game, which almost feels like damning with faint praise. But
Yep.
cool. Echoes of Time.
So in this game, you have a hand of cards. You're going to
This
be
is from
leading.
Cranio Creations. I love the cover.
I really like the cover.
This is coming from out at Essen. This is their big release coming out then. There's 4 factions. Big surprise there. The ocean depths with their dark abyss. The gentle hills with windy meadows. And protected forests. The vast and endless expanses of the night skies. And the mysterious and unexplored underground tunnels. So it's land versus air versus sea versus forest.
At least they tried to hide it a little bit. I do like that all the cards are going to be unique with their unique powers, their unique abilities, and it's about kind of coupling those together out that you play into.
Yeah.
Like Cranio Creation stuff, for the most part, they usually have some production errors lately, but this looks good.
I like cards
I'm hopeful.
I like cards with powers. I have a big deck of cards, all different abilities. Yeah, maybe.
Is this the one where you build a unique deck at the beginning of the game? Or am I getting my projects mixed up that I looked at this week?
It says you'll build a new deck each game. I don't know if you do it at the beginning.
Oh, okay. Then maybe I misunderstood.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, cool.
Propeller Island. This really looks like a Queen cover also.
I like it a lot, though.
Because
This
it is.
from Stan Kordansky, who is a great designer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like this cover?
I do. You don't?
I really like it. I think it's super cute.
I
okay
like
for
it
me.
a lot. It was very striking. I love that hard
that-
line work. Yeah.
A bird is holding a
I
caliber.
love it.
Anyway, this is in a realm where adorable and clever animals, as opposed to all the other board games that do not have adorable and clever animals. Anyway, they live in harmony.
Yeah.
You're making islands, mechanical islands.
Oh, my.
So it's a cheerful board game. They're trying not to use the word cozy.
This one was kind of giving me impresario, Western.
Old West Impresario?
There it is. It's going to give me vibes of that, where there's going to be.
Oh,
And this one, different building. He did, yeah.
Yeah.
It's different buildings, that you're actually coming out, and then they're going to play off each other and trying to build up your special powers. I have no idea,
would
but that's how I was
love
reading.
For this to be a re-implementation of that, actually.
too,
'Cause
yeah,
that
'cause
game is good, but it could have been better. I would love to see that kind of shaped up again,
Reworked.
massaged a little bit and brought back out. Yeah, if it's that, if it ends up being inspired by or
Something.
a reprint of that, I'm there.
It's the vibes it was
Wow,
talking
you're
about.
right. Now that I'm reading the description, it could be Tasty Minstrels out. So
I mean,
that
it's that
game's up
you
for
roll the
grabs.
dice and you're using those in order to acquire buildings to power buildings.
That's
I mean,
cool.
it sounded very much like that is how I was reading it. So
I did not. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. I didn't put that together.
All right, Tekken
Hadouken.
will conquer tabletops, they say. So this is from Go On Board. I love this. A studio known for its faithful and best-selling translation of digital universes to board games. Quick, name 4.
I can because
How
I
about
went
3?
and Googled it. The
Oh, where are
exact
they?
same thing.
Yeah, we
I was
looked
like,
it up,
what?
so-
So Cyberpunk 2077, the real-time one that just came out. Witcher Old World. Valhalla, and you said 4. I don't think.
I'm just kidding. I know. Here's the thing, though. I don't believe there's such a thing
Tekken.
as a faithful
Kraken.
translation of a digital
Tekken.
universe to a board game. It hasn't happened yet. Maybe Slay the Spire is the closest.
Wait.
right?
Say
Slay
that
the
again.
Spire is the
Hold
closest.
on. Start from the top.
I don't think there's a faithful translation of a digital universe to a board game. I'm not saying there's not decent board
good-
games
yeah.
based on it, but faithful, you do not like.
Well, you don't
like,
want faithful. That'd be dumb. You
That's
just
what I'm
play
saying.
the
Right,
video
then you
game.
play the other one. Yeah.
like next
Good.
week we're playing in the spectacular spoilers. We're playing the Elder Scrolls.
Yes.
I was trying to, avoid the spoiler.
No, we're not.
Say it again. Say it again.
We're not to tell
What
people.
is it?
Elder Scrolls. Anyway, and it's not going to be the exact same, but you don't want it to be
You
because
don't
just
want.
you can't simulate that. And you know what you really can't simulate? Fighting games very well.
No. they're
Yeah,
hard.
well, sometimes you don't want that curtain pulled back. You don't want to see the inner workings of the video game,
Right.
because that's way too much work to manage in a game. So yeah, you don't want that
I'm
exact
also curious about
implementation.
Tekken. Like Tekken was always it was always like tier B, I thought. You had Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat at the top, and then Tekken was kind of
Clay Fighter.
I think Tekken was one of the first 3D ones. I remember
It
that.
was.
And everyone was like, "Whoa,
Sega
Tekken."
Dreamcast, baby. Tekken was one of the first ones, if I'm not mistaken, where you could be fighting the guy and then step sideways. Hello.
Ooh.
Remember that?
I was never
Yeah.
a huge fan of these fighting games because I was really bad at them.
Tekken was very technical. It was one of the more technical fighters.
I do love those miniatures, though. I love that they're not round bases. I think that basing looked really cool, and then to have the acrylic, the different color acrylic, the red especially looks like blood. Looks like he kicked his chest and it exploded.
I'm only nervous about this because the last several have tried to do this, and I'm not counting the little card games from level 99 because they do okay, right? But they do a good job, I think. But like the Street Fighter one was a hot mess.
Big ones too. It's like, goodness, no.
They're like, there's miniatures. I'm like, miniatures don't matter in this kind of game unless you can model the miniature.
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay, Starcraft.
Let's
Archon
go.
Studios is releasing Starcraft tabletop miniatures games. Before you get excited, board game fans, this is a straight-up miniature-style game.
Oh, interesting.
I was amused by the quote here. He goes, as huge fans of StarCraft, we spent countless hours playing this game. I feel like if you just say huge fans of StarCraft, I'd be like, well, then yes.
Probably have played.
You don't need to clarify you played it a lot.
Yeah.
I hope so. Anyone who's played StarCraft, no one ever comes and says, I played StarCraft a little. You either not played it or you spent countless hours playing the game.
Yes.
I failed a class in college playing StarCraft. That's a very sad story.
Tell it.
No, I just did. That's what I'm saying.
Draw
That's
it
the
out
whole
a little
story?
bit.
I should have been studying for my final,
Yeah.
but I was playing through a campaign in StarCraft. I was like, this is more important.
You
What
failed.
class was it?
I don't remember.
What happened
I
after
changed
that?
my major,
Math.
and the classes didn't
Did
matter.
you lose friends over it?
No. They were playing StarCraft.
How'd your parents feel?
Shh, they don't know yet. My dad doesn't watch this show. What are you going to do now, Dad? I'm
I'm a grown man, Dad.
Anyway, this is interesting. I am abused by this. You play your favorite factions: Terran, Zerg, and Protoss.
Yeah, those are the only three.
Factions. But you know what? I've read a lot on the internet. A lot of people are like, are there more factions than that? I'm like, no. And I get that you won't know that if you haven't played it.
Yeah.
I guess maybe when StarCraft 2 came out, I might be slightly wrong here because I never really got into StarCraft 2. When you first bought the game, I believe you could only play in the campaign as the humans.
I think that you went through it and then you got a second faction.
No,
unlock stuff,
the
right?
Expansions added the campaigns for the second factions.
Oh, okay.
They were still in the game. I want to say that was the case at first. So I guess that's a reasonable thing for them to clarify. And also, a lot of board games do this. They'll be like, "Here's the two factions. We'll add the Zerg later."
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
StarCraft brings back memories, both positive and negative for me. It's a miniatures thing though, so I probably won't mess with it. Have you guys ever played it?
No.
Nope.
You're probably better off for that. All right. Okay, expansions.
This is exciting.
Yes. So we've known about this for a while, actually.
What?
I've known about this for a while, actually.
I found out last week. Are you kidding?
So they're making an expansion
worst.
coming out on Earth Day from Inside Up, or at least it's for pre-order Earth Day. It's a crowdfunding. It's coming up on Earth Day for Earth Animal Kingdom. I'm curious. I don't know anything else about it. I just knew it was coming. I'm curious how it's going to work because animals are already in the game.
Yes.
As scoring cards.
So these are now played into your tableau, is what I was explaining here. They're going to be played into your tableau and have little meeples. I don't know how they're going to interact with the whole, grid. I do think it's interesting. They have to be pretty powerful if it's going to take a whole spot in your grid.
Mm-hmm.
My concern is, one, are these animals going to be in that deck? Because you may never see one. I'd be very disappointed.
Right.
And B, it says that they're moving around. Like you move the animals around the tableau, animal
Oh, interesting. So I'm wondering
figures.
So I'm wondering then if the cards are just ones that they don't go into your grid, they just come to the side, then the meeple goes around and does something special on that card. I wonder.
I'm okay with that. I'm just saying that will slow the game down.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Too.
But I'm still gonna play it.
Oh, 100% I
Pass.
want. Yeah.
I will not play
I'm
pass.
totally just guessing here on this, how it's going to work. I think it's exciting.
This is the second expansion. First one we will review soon. All right. Maglev Metro. There's going to be more maps. Did you play all the first ones?
No.
Did you play any of the first ones?
No.
I did. But I didn't play all of them.
Did you notice that the box covers make a big panoramic?
Yes.
I like that.
It's fine. It's not a very interesting panoramic. That's my problem.
Is anyone
with it.
keeping these boxes?
Still, are they
You
displaying
have
them?
to. Because the Maglev Metro box, the maps one, it's completely filled with maps because they're all like dual triple layer board type things.
Wow.
Triple layers? How am I not playing
Ooh-wee.
this game?
Have you ever played Maglev Metro?
No.
It's a really good game. I really like it.
No.
And the maps add a lot of variety. I've only played one or two of them. That's why I never got around to reviewing the whole box of the games. And now there's another one. I'm like, I don't think I'll ever get to that one.
What is maglev?
They're trains that move via magnets. They levitate
Yeah.
on magnets.
Oh.
So we call them lev
Did
mags.
you know that? Is
Lev
that why
mags. Yeah, I did. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm being a Dorcas.
There's an expansion coming for the Wolves called the Apex expansion. So this just shows me, I guess the game must have done okay. I didn't think it was.
I was surprised by this. I thought that this game came and went and was done. I did not, especially in the Pandasaurus line, this is not the one I would have pegged to get an expansion.
Right.
It was really surprising. And I think they say we know nothing about it other than the cover.
also,
I liked the game, I think, the
lot of
most.
cover.
Yeah. I think I liked the game the most. I can't. It was
I dislike
already. It was already kind of puzzly and thinky.
Yeah.
And so I am a little bit concerned about that, like an expansion, how much that's going to add to that potential AP, to that having to plan out, that plotting, that programming a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So
Yeah, interesting.
Mike says it was hot at Essen. Maybe.
he saw this at Essen?
He saw everything.
Jeez, that Mike.
All right, Underwater Cities has an expansion, a second expansion called Data Era, which is going to give you a new resource type, data disks, which give you extra actions and more buildings, data centers, and a new type of cities, information cities.
Data cities.
I do like how long it's taken this expansion to come out, because this is one that I thought that they were done with, but it doesn't seem like a jumping right on a hot game. It's like, hey, it feels like we took some time, developed it, in order to incorporate this.
It's also possibly the only game of theirs that's been like a mega hit. They sell out every year at Essen through hype, but this one is their only evergreen. Maybe the little wood one is slightly less so.
What's the little wood one from them?
Where they're carving things out of woodcrafter.
Oh, Woodcraft.
Yeah.
I feel like that came and went real quick.
Wow. The other one's even faster.
Yeah, Underwater Cities has some staying power, it seems.
It does, yeah. Yeah, I like that one a lot. This is one I've actually been thinking a lot lately. I was like, I would need to get that back to the table.
Never played it.
'Cause I've been thinking about the top 100, and I'm like, haven't played it in a while.
Tower Up. This is an expansion coming for, it's Tower Up Paradise Islands. This one's a weird one for me because Tower Up, which was a surprise release last year at Gen Con, they just had it there. And I thought Tower Up was a very good game. It's just one of those games that I thought, expansion? Like
okay.
It's like a solid, not gateway game, but pretty close. It
felt
it's
complete.
almost Ticket to Ride with. I like it a lot. I think it's really neat. And an expansion, I'll try out the expansion. It just feels finished.
Does it have like little tower meeples? Like teeples? Is that what that is?
I'm going to slap you. No, they are. No, you haven't played this game, have you?
No, sir. No, I try to avoid any game that has the
I'm trying to figure out what those red things are because
or up.
for some
The
reason
bridges.
I'm seeing.
Or
all
taco holders.
Tacos.
All I get is tacos, too.
Tacos.
I thought it was tacos, yeah.
I know those are tacos.
But no, it's the bridge from the cover right there.
All right, like the bridge is new. Those aren't in the base game. You connect islands and statues, apparently.
Okay.
I'll try it.
I'll watch you play.
Need to try the base game.
Why does the thing say an expansion for the hit from Gen Con? I don't think it was a hit. It was like 200 copies. Anyway.
Maybe it was for this company.
They sold out.
Terra Mystica. Do you have enough Terra Mystica? No. Now they're they're asking fans. In 2021 they asked fans to make stuff, and now there's gonna be 20 new factions, including ones by Isaac Childress and Jamie Stegmaier. So when they say fans, they're saying if you already design a game.
Yes. If you have a name that we would like to use.
You can already play them on Board Game Arena, so that's cool.
Interesting.
That's neat.
Does Tom Vassell have a faction?
Did you make one?
Mystica, so I'm wondering if I could go back and play Terra Mystica again.
Yes, you can.
You're right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our first game of Terra Mystica, I will not forget. I played with Z and Sam, and we were taught by Jason. I don't know why it was.
I don't either.
And Sam. And we were taught by Jason Levine, and it was possibly the second single worst rules teach I've ever been through.
That checks
I already know the
out.
worst rules teach I've ever been through was when I learned to play that game from Eric Lang that's on a skin map.
What?
Oh,
A
Blood.
skin
The Warhammer game. The Elder Old Gods. Chaos
Anyway,
in the Old World.
Chaos in the Old World.
Jeez.
And the guy who taught us read the rule book verbatim out loud.
Oh,
Were you
did he
in that
know how to
game?
play?
No.
He said he did. I was like, I'm going to go read the rule book. And the guy's like, oh, I know
No.
the game. I was like, oh, great. You teach
Yeah.
us. This is why. You wonder why I never let anyone teach me games?
Yeah.
Because of this guy.
I definitely would go to the bathroom and not come back. Like, sorry.
Anyway, last week, Z, me, and Chris talked about our top 10 games that were replaced by an app.
Yes.
And I said Gloomhaven, and I said, man, I wish Frosthaven was coming. I had no
It's
knowledge
insane.
that
That is
day,
very funny.
Isaac
Very funny.
Childress heard me and was like,
Whew.
done.
He got right on it.
He went back in time.
Yeah, because this starts the beta testing today, actually, at 9 a.m. It started today.
I love that.
The beta
Why
testing.
are we here?
Right.
That is
We will not
pretty
see Tom
wild.
the rest of
I
the day.
will clear. For me, when it comes to video games, I'm always very happy to wait for the final product.
Yeah.
I'm not a beta tester. I don't want to play find the bugs.
But
I
it
want to
is
play
nice
the
that
final
you
thing.
know, like, when it's only in April, 23rd or something like that? Like, it's a short beta window.
The one thing I could not figure out, and I haven't mentioned anywhere, so I'm assuming it's not possible, that I don't think you'll be able to mesh this with Gloomhaven. And by specifically meshing, I wonder if you can take the character
Oh, I bet
classes
you can do that.
and flip them, because you could with Jaws of the Lion.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe you can. I don't know. It seems like it should work.
I feel like
but-
the games are separate, though. I mean, yeah, it is a successor, not like... Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Even
Doesn't
if it
seem like you could
does
mix them.
happen, if you could do it with the physical board game, they'd have to like sell you DLC with
Right.
those characters
Yeah.
in this video game. I doubt that very much.
I could see that coming. I could see that being
Yeah, maybe.
the next Kickstarter be like a cross compatibility.
Yeah, because they announced it that day, it would be hard for me to pretend. I mean, like, people are like, you knew something, didn't you? I really did not. I just
That's
happy,
funny,
Happy
just-
stance.
Yeah.
Richard's
Also,
asking.
this was not an announcement that surprised me when I heard about it. Like,
Yeah.
What? You're doing Frosthaven?
Right. Richard asked, does it have an undo? Did Gloomhaven not have an undo? Or do you understand?
I don't think so.
Didn't have an undo button, huh?
I don't remember if Gloomhaven has an undo or not.
Interesting.
And then Mike, the game wouldn't let me cheat. Yeah, like you said, that was what
Yeah,
that was your
wasn't-
complaint
that
too.
is-
It's
that
like,
is my
no.
one issue of it, yes. All right. In news that ripped the internet into shreds,
Oh,
Entwine.
People got opinions.
Quacks has been re-released from, well, we knew this was coming from CMYK, but here's the thing, CMYK isn't fooling around. They're like, here's the cover, also you can pre-order the game and get it right now. People already have the game.
love that.
Yeah,
That is such a
boom.
breath of fresh air in like a kickstarting, hype building, FOMO kind of hobby that we're in right now.
It's a very different way to do business, right? This is the
Yeah.
again, mass market is what this company where they basically function, and that's how a lot of these companies
Yeah.
do it. You're not going to find out that some new version of Monopoly is coming out sometimes, but if they make the announcement, it's because they intend for you to walk down to Target and go buy it.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'm not saying Target, but I'm saying, that this is
Wherever.
like, here's the announcement. Where can you get it? Like today. What do you mean?
Right. I love that because I mean that FOMO is such a small hobby mentality here.
Right.
And so branching out. Anyway, huge kudos for that.
So there's three things you can order. You can order the game on their website. You can also order the game with deluxe components, which look smaller but very similar to the ones that BGG offered as an upgrade. Although
Okay.
I heard tales from people who got them, they have a feel like there's more of a. They're not flat. They're like there's a texture to them, which should hopefully keep them from. The ones we got from BGG, we've replaced 3 times.
Yeah, they get quite a bit of wear
To
and
be
tear
fair,
in
the
the
game was also
library.
played like 150 times. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you can buy an all-in, which includes both expansions and again deluxe fight components.
It is. Okay, the All-In does have deluxe as well.
From what I
Has to
heard,
be, right?
it deluxifies the little chips, but the coins that came in the first expansion, I think, or second,
okay.
those
The
are still
first.
cardboard counters.
Okay, in the deluxe or in the All-In?
In
or
the
both?
all-in, which is deluxe, I think.
Okay, got it. Interesting.
Of course, obviously, the thing everyone's fighting about and yelling on the internet is the artwork. it is not AI. It is done by
Very
an
clear.
artist who does claymation type artwork.
Mm-hmm.
They also changed the name from Quacks of Quedlinburg to just Quacks. On that note, I'm way on board with that because, frankly, I
we called
never
it.
say, do you want to play Quacks of Quedlinburg? I say,
Yeah.
hey, you want to play Quacks? I already say that.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine. Quacks is...
It's also short. It's punchy. Again, if they're going for more mass appeal, it makes more sense to have a short, punchy title like that.
I think every move they've made here is in service of the mass, whatever you want to call that. You know, people that wouldn't be watching the show, people that don't have a BGG account.
Yeah.
They're going to call this Quacks. There's nobody who's going to be like Quedlinburg.
And that's when they put it back on the shelf. They're like,
Right.
never mind, not for me.
The artwork
Yeah.
of that edition, you might love it, but also it's very hobby board game, that artwork.
I actually
Yeah.
am a little surprised in that. I don't know how I feel about this artwork yet. I'm kind of neutral on it.
I feel like
But I thought the old artwork was fine at best. It's not like
I
the old
agree.
artwork was
It's not
good. Yeah,
amazing.
I
It was
agree.
just fine.
I agree. No, it's very like, it's very hobby. I mean, it is.
I feel like I don't love this necessarily, but it is more representative of the game, the gameplay, the feeling of the game. I think it expresses that better. I think for me, I wish it looked more like claymation, like make it look like Wallace and Gromit, make it, something
Sure.
like that. Like I want that. I think this is a little too almost kiddie for me, it's a little too soft. But but that being said,
And
I feel
again,
like
that'll-
it better represents the game.
I think it's funny.
I want to
what's-
see it in person. That's the thing. We
That-
have a
yeah.
copy coming. I'm very curious what it will look like.
And I do love the fact that just out of the box, you can get the deluxe. It's not like I have to buy a $40 game and then go spend $40 on
It
components.
also does not. No one does
Right.
that. That's
Was
the
not the price, but
that's
yeah.
a hobby thing.
Much higher, yeah.
I think it was weren't they like 40? But that was just the base,
Yeah.
and then it's another 35 for any expansions or for extras. This kind of stuff. And it was like it was just. I mean, it ended up being a $115 game.
Here's what's funny to me: Quacks of Quedlinburg has sold a whole bunch of copies, and these guys reprinting are still reprinting, changing the name, putting it out there, even discounting all those people that already bought a copy, assuming that they can sell hundreds of thousands of copies, I'm going to assume, of this one, even excluding all those people that have one already. That's amazing how much they consider the market to be untapped.
Yeah, that's interesting.
When you think about that,
Okay.
because,
Wow.
you jump on a game that becomes a critical darling, and then in 3 months, I'm like, okay, don't reprint. I'm reprinting. I'll change the look. I'm putting it out in more places. Great. That makes sense. You see that move happen all the time.
Yeah.
Quacks of Quedlinburg has been out for years and years and has been reprinted, has bits on BGG. Everybody talks about it. It's highly rated. If you've wanted a copy, you have a copy.
Yeah.
They are excluding all those people and
That's happened
saying,
before.
Or-
I mean, it could be done. I mean, Catan just came out with the 6th edition.
Or
I know, that's
they're
what's crazy.
thinking this is going to be an upgrade for people because maybe, now with the artwork, my family would be more interested in playing, or I can take it to the Christmas, get together. Or maybe they're thinking you never got the BGG bits because they were always sold out. I mean,
Sure,
they
sure.
came in stock, and it was like a couple hours of a window that you could get them. So now they're thinking this is the time to upgrade your worn-out copy that is that beloved copy.
and in my opinion, they're thinking none of those things.
Right. I mean,
They're
they're
thinking,
discounting that.
We can
Yeah.
sell this to hundreds of thousands of people.
And they
that don't have it,
might
you know
be
what I
right.
mean?
I do.
Yeah.
I think my concern with that is having the 3 different versions seems still hobby minded. Like,
Yeah, but
we
you're
keep
only
using
going to see
Target.
one of these versions in the store.
But which one?
The first one.
And then the other ones is like they have to go online to get it, but they're probably
Yeah.
not because
I'm sure
there's
they
not an
printed very
upgrade
few
kit
of those other two.
that we know of.
that we
There
know
might
of.
be eventually.
Okay,
Who
maybe.
knows?
Yeah.
If they got this one in Barnes and Noble, and then how do they upgrade to get those bits?
Yeah, maybe.
I wonder.
The only thing Z mentioned this before we started is they did not put the designer's name on the cover,
That's.
and I feel like that's a step backwards. I feel like you should put designer names on covers.
I feel like it's a mass market thing to not have it, but still be the difference you want to see.
one-
It's
yeah,
like
that's
that's
one of
fine. It's
those-
like,
We do it on everything else in mass
Come on.
market. Come on.
Yeah.
That's one of those pushes that I do not have a problem with us making that push. It's okay to credit people who make things.
right.
You know,
And the artist. I mean, put the artist on there. If nothing else, it says, hey, it's not AI art. I mean, they're getting that pushback.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah,
artist
yeah.
and the designer. Both of those should be prevalent on the cover.
I'd be weirded out if I picked up a book and it didn't have the writer on the cover.
Yeah.
And I know that this has been the norm, but that trend is okay to buck.
And again, be the difference.
All right, our last piece of news, I'm excited about this. There is a new release coming from Matthias Wig, the designer of Ark Nova, which is, well, same theme, Ark Nova type theme. This is Artengarten. I wonder if that's going to be the English name of it.
It's not. It says right there, Sanctuary.
It's going to be Sanctuary.
It's going to be
Yeah.
Sanctuary because I couldn't finish this sentence.
Saying he got bored.
It's not highlighted. That's why.
Mike, we need highlighted. Bright colors,
Look, when
please.
I speed read, I skip some things. Okay. Anyway.
Put it in a rainbow font.
This is a 1 to 5 player game, and you are going to plan and design a modern, scientifically managed zoo. So this is, I think, different than Ark Nova in the sense that Ark Nova was more about the procuring of animals, I think. And this is going to be about building the zoo tiles. I'm a little worried those zoo tiles are a little heavy with stuff on them.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll be like this big, though, so it'll be okay.
That'd be hilarious, but I doubt it. You have 4 action cards, which will manage your gameplay. It sounds like there's a lot of similarities to Ark Nova. It says, but it modifies, simplifies many of the mechanisms. So
I like that idea. I like that they are saying, like, hey, this is Ark Nova, not inspired. I mean, it's the same designer and everything. He's like, I took what I knew worked, and I simplified it, honed it, massaged it a little bit, and boom, here's a new one.
Yeah.
I really, really like that. That one, the transparency of that, and 2, just the idea of it. I think the game could have been smoothed out a little bit, you know. And
Ark Nova sucks as it is now, so hopefully this fixes it.
This is going to be run for at Essen this year. People are going to run and
will
grab
be
this.
using my elbows.
Ark Nova's Artengarten will give you the runs.
Sanctuary.
Thanks,
What?
Z.
Ooh.
All right, that is the news. We're ending on a low note, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be classy. Nope, can't do it.
All right, we'll see you all later today in the top 10 list. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Camilla.
This is the news. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vassell.